What if the actions of one man could change the course of history? This is not a hypothetical question, but a real-life narrative of Adolf Hitler. Born into an Austria-Hungarian family, he spent his early years dabbling in arts, dreaming of becoming an artist. But destiny had other plans. He served in World War I, where he was decorated for bravery. But it was the post-war period that truly shaped his future. Germany, reeling from the punitive terms of the Treaty of Versailles and battered by economic depression, was a fertile ground for radical ideologies. Hitler, with his fiery oratory skills and charismatic leadership, seized this opportunity. He ascended the political ladder, transforming from an obscure party member to the Chancellor of Germany. His rise to power was as much a result of his personal ambition as it was of the socio-economic conditions of the time. From a struggling artist to the leader of a nation, the journey of Adolf Hitler was a complex one. As the 1930s drew to a close, Hitler's ambitions would plunge the world into the deadliest conflict in human history. The seeds of this global conflagration were sown in Hitler's aggressive expansionist policies. He defied the Treaty of Versailles, remilitarizing the Rhineland, annexing Austria in the Anschluss, and seizing the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. These actions were met with a policy of appeasement from Britain and France, who hoped to avoid another devastating war. But their attempts to pacify Hitler only emboldened him. In September of 1939, Hitler's Germany invaded Poland, marking the start of the Second World War. The early years of the war saw the Nazi war machine at its most potent. Blitzkrieg tactics led to the rapid conquest of much of Europe, including Denmark, Norway, Belgium, the Netherlands, France, and large parts of Eastern Europe. As the world watched in horror, Hitler's military machine seemed unstoppable. However, the tide of war is fickle and unpredictable. In the vast theater of World War II, pivotal moments emerged that marked the beginning of the end for Hitler's Reich. The Battle of Stalingrad, a brutal conflict that lasted half a year, saw Hitler's forces suffer a devastating defeat. His determination to capture the city at all costs, disregarding the advice of his generals, led to the loss of an entire army. In the West, the D-Day invasion marked another turning point. Hitler's misplaced confidence resulted in strategic errors that allowed the Allies to gain a foothold in continental Europe. His underestimation of the resolve of the Allied forces proved costly. The final nail in the coffin came with the fall of Berlin. Hitler's dream of a 1,000-year Reich, once seemingly invincible, was crumbling. In the face of overwhelming Allied forces, Hitler's dream of a 1,000-year Reich was crumbling. The legacy of Adolf Hitler is one that continues to shape our world today. Hitler's actions, particularly the Holocaust, were a momentous force that forever altered the course of human history. The sheer magnitude of the atrocities committed during this period brought about a collective global outcry, setting the stage for the inception of the United Nations, a body dedicated to maintaining international peace and preventing such horrors from recurring. This period also marked the commencement of the Cold War, a geopolitical standoff that lasted for almost half a century, and whose echoes can still be heard in present-day international relations. From Hitler's rise and fall, we glean vital lessons about the dangers of unchecked power, the potential for manipulation by charismatic leaders, and the importance of vigilance in the protection of human rights and liberties. Adolf Hitler's actions were a catalyst for some of the most significant events of the 20th century, leaving a legacy that continues to reverberate through history.